Hey everyone, it's Jason. Over the years, I have used one string patch behind my keys. Background. It's on the Yamaha Motif series keyboards. It's been the perfect sound. The attack is perfect. It's not harsh, but it still comes in immediately when you play it. When you play extremely loud or soft, it just adjusts. It doesn't become overbearing or so quiet that you can't hear it. It's just perfect. So today we're going to look into the inner workings of background and figure out how this thing works. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is the actual sounds. Background is composed of three sounds. On the Motif series of keyboards, they call them elements. So let's listen to each one of these individually. I'm going to mute them and play one at a time. Okay, that sounds nice. It sounds like a keyboard patch. I mean, a string patch that, you typically hear. All right, I'm going to play the second one. All right, to me, that one sounds like it has quite a bit more vibrato in it. It's not like the other one, but I can kind of see how together they would make it sound like a more full section. All right, let's play the third one. It's called Sizzle Strings. Okay, yeah. So to me, that one sounds like it's more patty than stringy, if that makes sense. I can see how this would tie the other two together. So you have two patches that sound like strings. Now I'll show you later where um, the different patches. This one is set the loudest, two is set second loudest, and three is third loudest. I can see how these pads here would tie both of these strings together and make it sound amazing. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, so the second thing we're going to look at here is the filter. The filter is right here. And on the Motif series of keyboards, it's basically, there's a whole bunch of things you can pick, but they're low pass filters, dual pass, high pass, band pass. They've got different things. On this one, they've got it set to a low pass filter. You can see here it takes out some of the highs. Now, here's what I found amazing. I'll go over here to where it says scale and just picture that there's a scale right here. Not a scale, a piano. I'm sorry. There's a piano right here. So this is, I can't read it. Okay, we'll go to the next one. I still can't read it. There it is. All right, so up here is like D4. C is around here. You get the idea. This is F6. This is one of the things that I think makes this string patch just amazing. As you get higher in pitch, it removes more and more highs. It essentially does this. So it's removing more highs. And that to me is so iconic because it means that my strings that I'm playing high are not going to be overbearing. You know how when you play strings and all of a sudden it's just like, oh my gosh, all I hear is the strings and the high registers. Yes, this is going to fix that. Now I'm looking here on the second one and they do the same exact thing. The same exact thing on this one. And then when you go to the third one, they, instead of using a low pass, they have a band pass. So it gets rid of the highs, but it allows some of them through. I like this. It's just the one, this is the pad type sound. So it's letting some of the highs through and then removing select frequencies such that they don't overlap and get overbearing. I love it. It's amazing. All right, so the third thing we're going to look at is the amplitude. Let's go back to one and come down here. Now, here on the Motif, this controls the output level. It doesn't control the MIDI velocity. So here we have these three things here and this that we're going to concentrate on. So this is a curve. So it is based upon how hard and how soft you play. If you play soft, what it's saying is it's going to make the sound louder. And if you play really loud, it's going to even it out to around here. It's going to say, okay, you're playing loud, but we're not going to make it as loud. So it's going to take that and it's going to apply that with a sensitivity of 20. It's an arbitrary number, so we won't worry about it. And then the original volume is 99. So it's going to take all of this and say, okay, you're playing, the original is 99. You played really loud over here. So I'm going to make the new value 120, let's say, right? It's going to come all the way up here. It's going to say, instead of making that 120, let's make it 112, because we're only following 41% and we're taking out, we're making the higher notes play softer than the lower notes. And if it's the lower note, it's going to say, okay, instead of that 120, we're doing plus 140 or plus 41%. So now we're just going to go straight to 127. We're going to max out. So that is just amazing to me. You're making your higher notes play softer than your lower notes. Now, the second one, the second sound, and the third sound all do the same exact thing. They have the same curve, and they have the same type of thing where the lower notes play softer. All right, so in summary, right, we've gone over what types of patches or sounds are used. We've gone over this filter, and we've gone over this amplitude setting here. What kind of assumptions can we make about strings that we need to make that need to go in the background? Well, one, we know we need to layer it with other string sounds. So this string here and this string here, the key to these two is they're different. They sound different. So when you layer them on top of each other, they sound fuller. This one is more patty sounding, if that makes sense. This one sounds like more like a pad. So together, the three of these create a nice bed of sound that we can play on. When it comes to the filter, we know that as you play higher, we need less and less highs because we're going in the background. We don't want the strings to be the foreground of the sound. We want them to be in the background in this case. So we're going to take out more and more highs as we play higher and higher. Then lastly, with the amplitude, we can assume that we need the lower notes to play louder than the higher notes. And we need to do it in such a way that it creates an even bed of sound. So these three things together are amazing. I think these are great things that we can take and use even in our mixing or in our layering for making a set of sounds that we're going to use. So that sums it up, y'all. Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video breaking down the sound, do you want to see more of these videos? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave this video a like if you liked it. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed and click on that bell icon. We'll see you next time.